Hi, welcome back to another episode of me just taking you along with me on the journey towards transformation. So one of my goals this year is to get to my goal weight. I had my son in 2019 and put on, I put on weight, but it was fine. And then COVID happened, and then I really put on weight. And then I got pregnant with my daughter in 2022, had her in 2023. And for the year, I don't know, you just are kind of in transition mode of, just navigating life with two kids, and, I don't know, I guess I wasn't focused about it, but I was. So here's the thing, I would say, as a female, there is so much pressure to be a weight and thing, and there's vanity, and there's just this idea of I want to be skinny and all of the things. And I really, I was battling that a lot in my 20s, right? And again, I think it was this level of no one's going to marry you if you're fat, and all the internal chatter that happens, right? And then my husband, and not that you I still cared, it wasn't I gave up, but I think it was just, it became, and I think just getting older, you just care less about the vanity stuff. I still cared, but it wasn't I have to fit into these Jordan jeans or these diesel jeans, or I have to fit this, I want to buy this blouse that I saw in a movie. A lot of that stuff for me dissipated when I got older. And then when I was in my 40s having my kids, it's just, I don't want to say you resign yourself, but you just, maybe you're this might be what it is. I'm not happy about it, but this might be what it is. And I would say, when I had my daughter, I'm 5'4", and I think I clocked in at 199 pounds, when they last put me on the scale before she was born. And I think I was 199, or it might have been I hit 200, and that was eesh, okay, right? And then what would happen was, as much as I was yeesh, I was breastfeeding, and there's no dieting when you're breastfeeding. I am not doing that. I am not going to impact my supply, so that I could fit back into, whatever pants, right? I'm not doing that. So it wasn't until I stopped nursing, which was 10 months, that I sort of said okay, I really want to focus on losing the baby weight, right? And I think that part of the struggle in probably not being successful in losing the weight, because I think I've been on a diet since I was 16 years old, and I'm 47 now. So for the last 30 years, I've been on some sort of diet or thing, or this is the new thing, or pills, or whatever the thing is, right? And you just are doing it for superficial reasons, I think, and which is not a problem, but I think it makes it hard to really embrace the journey, because you're looking for the quick fix. You're looking for and magazines don't help, where they're lose 15 pounds in 10 days, and and you buy into that, right? And so I think it is just that cycle of, as a society, we were this is a quick fix, this is a quick fix, this is a quick fix. And so, but I think I was just okay, I do want to lose the baby weight, but it has to be more than that. I think I was just I'm tired of going on another diet. I'm just tired, right? And then two things happened after my daughter was born, and I was just tired of being on the diet cycle. My mom was diagnosed with cancer, and it was not looking good, right? They were just it's touch and go here, right? And my grandmother had died of cancer, and my aunt had been diagnosed with cancer. So now cancer runs in my family, and I am freaking out because it has now hit home, right? I have this newborn baby girl, right? That I just adore and I love. And the idea that I might not be here for her, just freaked me out. And I was it became about I've got to lose the weight, not because I need to fit into a size thing. I've got to minimize any factors that are going to increase the chance that I get cancer, or that I or get diabetes. Yeah, my mom would she was like diabetic. She was diagnosed with diabetes also while she was diagnosed with cancer. So like you're like freaking out, right? And I have this baby, and I have these 2 kids, but I have this little girl that I just had this baby, and I was like, I can't, like, I finally have to get this under control, right? And so I started working with a nutritionist, and she was great. And I will tell you, like, I was focused on a goal weight, and I said it, and I think because I knew in my mind it was about health, but I was just like, if I get to a number, aka my BMI gets to a certain level, I reduce the factors. I think it was like, I read somewhere that it was like, if you get to a certain BMI, like you know, like you decrease the chances of getting cancer like by 60%. And I was like, well, I need to be in that BMI. Like I need to get to that weight. I need to be at that BMI. And so I would tell people this weight, and they'd be like, okay, like, but I knew it wasn't about the number. It was about like the health, right? And I was like, well, if I can also kill 2 stones with like losing weight, and great, I like, sign me up, right? So I was working with a nutritionist, and I remember saying to her, like, I remember it was like September, and I said, by the time I get to my birthday in January, I want to have lost, like, I don't know, I think I said something crazy, like I want to have lost 40 pounds. And she was looking at me like, okay. But again, it was just like, this idea that like the more weight that I carry, the more that I'm at risk of developing something that will not put me at risk of not being around for my kids. So, and I'm a believer in the universe, and I'm a believer in like manifestation, if you will, but I gave the universe instructions. I'm like, I need you to help me out here. I need you to help me out. And again, I am a believer in the universe. And for whatever reason, I think the universe just kind of like guides you and puts things in your lap, and you're like, yeah, what's this? So I think I don't know. I think I had read like Dr. Jason Fung's cancer code and obesity code, and he had talked about fasting and autophagy as really these variables that can help kill cancer cells. And if you starve these not starve the body, but if you starve the cells of the crap that feeds cancer cells, aka sugar and like just processed foods, then let your body heal its inflammation, and you do that through fasting, well, then you reduce the chances of cancer, and then your body has the ability to like kill off the cancer cells so that you can be healthy. And I was like, sign me up. Where do I sign up? And I remember having read or watched the podcast with Fast Like a Girl with Dr. Mindy Pelz, I think her name is. But I remember the book, it was like Fast Like a Girl, and I was like, okay, like I'm going to buy the audiobook. And I go to Audible, and I go to buy the audiobook, and somehow this podcast from Jen Stevens called Fast Feast Repeat was like, it showed up in my search, and I was like, I've never heard of this woman. Who is this? And I clicked on her podcast, and I was like hooked. I just loved her energy, and I was like, okay, like I downloaded Fast Feast Repeat I downloaded Fast Like a Girl into my Audible, but then I was listening to the podcast, and I was like, oh, she has a book, and I ended up buying the book, right? I ended up buying the book, and I ended up like buying the audiobook, because when I go on my walks, I'm like, I don't have time to like really sit and like when my kiddos are around, but when I'm going on my walks, I can do that. So I was all like, oh, like I fell in love. I fell in love with her voice. I fell in love with just her knowledge. I fell in love with just like her protocol, if you will. And what was really interesting was that like I have fasted before, like for like spiritual reasons, like just like you go on a retreat and you have to fast, and you're like, okay, like, so I am familiar with fasting and intermittent fasting, but as I'm realizing, I was dirty fasting. I wasn't clean fasting. So I think the thing that I justified for myself as fasting was like, oh, I was having bone broth, or I was in like before I was eating, like anything that you chew, that counts as eating, right? That counts as like you've broken your break fast. So I would have bone broth, or I would have tea with lemon in it. I would chew gum, and I would justify that, but I'm not eating, and I'm not really eating, right? Or I would have like black coffee with a splash of creamer, which then you realize like I wasn't splashing, but I would say it's fine because I'm not eating, it's fine. And when I listened to her protocol, where it's called a clean fast, and you just do not consume anything except black coffee, tea that comes from like real tea leaves, like so black tea and green tea. And then you have a window that you choose when, again, so what she described is that the fat loss and the autophagy happens at like hour 18 of not eating anything. So if you can get yourself to like 20 or 21 hours of not eating, then you increase your chances of like, again, killing off the gunk, right? So I was like, great. So it's like pick a window, an eating window, but clean. No dairy, no lemon in your tea, no electrolyte water, like nothing. It is like water, coffee, black coffee, and tea, right? So I was like, all right, like what, like I don't know. And you guys, I'm telling you, the clean fast, that was the game changer, because what I realized, and I think she describes it in the book, and I would highly recommend that you get the book, that there's something called the cephalic response, where anything that you put in your mouth that either has flavor like gum or even like lemon, like your body then thinks that food is coming and is like waiting for the food. It's waiting for like, oh, okay, like we've just tasted lemon, or like she's chewing on lemon, like, or she's chewing gum, like oh, mint is like there's food coming, right? And then when food doesn't come, it hoards the fat, because it's just like, whoa, are we going through a starvation? Like, were we starving? Like, what's happening? Right? So I think she describes it in such a way that it's like, if you don't introduce food to your body is just like, well, we're hungry. And then it will like go after the fat that's stored, the deep freezer of fat that you have, like the extra fat cells. And it will go after the cancer cells and like get rid of that. Like that is just like not good for us, right? So I started the clean fast in November, and I remember that it was like 2 months before my birthday. So I remember starting on November 14th, and I was like, well, it's 2 months before my birthday, so let's see what happens. And she also describes that for the first 4 weeks, do not expect to lose weight. Like for whatever reason, your body's recalibrating, or this, whatever, it's becoming like fat adapted and all of this stuff. So I said to myself, okay, like I'm going to commit to this, and I have full awareness that for a month I am not going to lose weight, because my body has to just do what it's going to do. But in my mind, I was okay with that, because I just said, this is all about me. This is all about me getting healthy. Like if there's cancer cells in there, I don't care that I'm not losing weight. Like I just need you to kill any cancer cells or any inflammation or diabetes. Like I just need you to kill that stuff. So I'm okay with not losing weight, right? So the 5 things that like I have done, again, it's just clean fast. It is just saying I am very regimented, like knock on wood, I'm very regimented. I can be okay with it. You tell me the rule and I will follow the rule. So it's like, you do not eat anything but drink anything but black coffee, and in the hot water, it's hot water. Like I don't even do tea. Like it's hot water, and like that's it. So no gum, no creamer, definitely no creamer, but just not even like lemon in your water. No electrolyte water, like none of that. And then you pick a window, and I typically have my window of 2 to 7 because I want to eat dinner with my kids at like 4 or 5, and then I close my window at 7, and like that's it, right? And so I have lost since November 14th. I did actually lose some weight in that month time, even though I didn't have the expectation of it. I did lose weight, and I think in part because I think I had fasted before, and because I was exercising, I think my body like had already experienced fat adaptation. So I lost weight. I wouldn't say that I lost a tremendous amount of weight, but like I saw the scale go down when I wasn't expecting the scale to go down at all till like Christmas time, right? And it was like, so it's January 23rd, when I'm recording this, I started at 178, and right now I'm at 165.4, which is, I don't know, what is that, 13 pounds lost in 2 months, 10 weeks. Yeah, so like that, to me, I'm like, that's great, but I will say to you, the things that I have gained is tremendous energy. Like I thought I was just tired because I'm middle-aged and I have 2 kids. I'm telling you, there's something about like not eating that I'm like, these ketones or whatever it is, I'm like, I have tremendous energy that is just like, holy Christmas. Like I could run a marathon. I could feel great, right? But it's fine. It's great. Like it's tremendous. There's been a tremendous benefit, tremendous focus, tremendous ability to organize and be present for my kids and be present for my clients. Like it's just been feeling great. But the things that I have, have helped have been, now let me add to this. She says maintain your current diet. Like don't change your diet. Like don't try to go from like fasting for 20 hours or 21 hours and then think you're also going to like eat organic sprouts and do all this stuff. Like just keep your diet. So not that we eat crappy, but it's Pizza Friday. I'll have wine. It's fine, right? Like I do wine on like Friday and Saturday. We have carbs. Like I will allow myself to eat whatever I want. But I'm okay with that, right? So, but I recognize when I eat a certain way, when I eat too many carbs, like I just get hungrier. Like it's just, and part of the conversation that you have to have with yourself is that you will be hungry. Like you're not going to walk around without these pangs of hunger. It's just like, oh, I'm really feeling hungry right now, or the pangs or the waves, right? Like comes more often when I have more carbs. If I've had like protein rich like snacks and dinner, like the hunger shows, but the pangs are just like, they're just quieter, right? They're just quieter. So the things that I do is, make sure that I only drink coffee that I have made at home. I don't buy coffee out because apparently, there might be natural flavors in your coffee that have like mint or these things that like are going to activate the cephalic response and make you hungry. So just having black coffee that I only have at home, creating a window that is, that aligns with my family's way of eating. So they're at school or daycare and we're not home. Like, so there's no need for me to open my window and there's no temptation, if you will. Like if the kids are home and I want to eat and there's this like, well, it's there and I want to eat it. And so eating in alignment with my family has helped so that like I eat when they eat and I I'm okay with it and I don't deprive myself. And here's the thing. Now I will have a snack. When I open up my window, I will have a snack. And and where's my, I have my bag of beef jerky and, oh, here it is. Right. And beef sticks, right? Like I will have beef jerky and I will do that and that'll be my snack for 2:00. And then we eat dinner at like 5:00, 6:00. And then I will eat from that and then close my window at 7. But I eat in line with my family. So I do that. The third thing that I do is I recognize that like my hunger is just like, I sit with it and recognize like, is this waves or is this like maybe actual like hunger because maybe my body needs something more. Like maybe my cycle is about to start, or maybe I didn't have enough nutrients in my meal the night before. If I have vegetables, I'm more likely to stay full and not have the hunger pains than if I have had pasta, just predominant pasta, in the meal. And so I sit with and recognize, oh, my body reacts to, certain foods in certain ways. Just having the awareness, right? Like just giving yourself that awareness of how you eat and how that impacts your hunger and or like your energy cycles or your menstrual cycle, giving yourself insight into like what may be contributing to to this extra hunger today, right? And then fifth, it's not depriving myself of anything. Jen Stevens has written this book and I don't have it, and I might get it, but it's called Delay, Don't Deny, right? You can have anything you want, but you can choose to delay and not deny yourself anything. And once you just have this sense of, okay, I'm going to delay, just having, I don't know, having the crackers or having the wine, I'm going to delay that till my window. Well, that just alleviates a lot of this pressure that you have to eat, certain foods, and it's like, it's not good for you, and this is good food and this is bad food. It's like, just delay it, right? Like, don't deprive yourself, just delay it. And I feel like she has maybe normalized that concept of delay, don't deny, like globally for me in other areas of my life, right? So if I want to, I don't even know, like I want to do something with my job, or I want to or I don't want to do something. It's just like, well, delay the instant gratification. You can have it later. I can't even think about like something, I might have like wanted something in my Amazon cart that I wanted to do an impulse purchase, and it was just like, well, delay, don't deny. Like, put it in your cart and go back to it on Friday, and if you want it on Friday, then have it, right? But it was like a delay, don't deny, like that, like, is global. And I feel like that has been a great way to frame the instant gratification of life. Besides food, it's like, I think it's just like a great theme in life, period. So I hope that any of these tips are helpful for you, and I would love to hear any additional tips or hacks or tricks that you use to successfully do intermittent fasting. But please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.